Okay, let's do some examples of plot the following points. The directions here say plot the following, and we're given ordered pairs with letters, so it's easier really to mark our point and use a letter rather than the ordered pair. So we will do that. Let's see. To mark the point 4, 3, remember 4 is the x value, 3 is the y value, and the coordinated point considers the x value and the y value. So from the origin, the x value 4 is here, the y value 3 is here, and so to get to the coordinated value we go x value 4, y value 3, and we mark the point. We could label that point A. Alright, let's mark point B. The point 3, 4. Now it has the same two numbers, but remember the order of the numbers is very important. So the point 3, 4 means x value 3, y value 4. So to get to that coordinated value, we go x value 3, y value 4, and we're going to mark this as point B. Alright, point C is the point 5, 0. Alright, so that means x value 5, y value 0. So that coordinated value from the origin, x value 5, y value 0. That means we don't move up or down, okay, from our x value here. The y value 0 means a 0 vertical move. So we're going to mark this point here, that's the point 5, 0, and label it C. Okay. Another thing we might need to do, having to do with locations of points. Let's take a look at this right here. Here we have the points marked on the graph, on the coordinate plane, and we need to say what is the ordered pair value of these points. So let's look at point A. Point A is located here. So from the origin, what would be the x value and the y value? So to get to this point from the origin, we would take x value to the left, which is negative, that's a negative 5, and y value up 2 would be positive 2. So the value for A, ordered pair values are negative 5, 2. So we're going to write that here by our point 5, by our point A, negative 5, 2. Alright, let's do that then for point B. From the origin, how do we arrive at point B? Well, the x value is 2 and the y value is negative 5. So ordered pair 2, negative 5. Notice that it has the same two number values as our first ordered pair, but the order is very important. It's a different location on the plane. Let's look at point C. Okay, point C is here on our graph. In order to arrive at point C from the origin, we don't travel left or right, do we? We go straight up the y-axis. So if there is no horizontal move, then our x value is 0, and our y value then we move up to 7. So the ordered pair values for point C are x value 0, y value 7. Okay, some other things that we might have to do with definitions and of different areas of the coordinate plane. The instructions here say to correctly label each quadrant, then name the quadrant for each point listed. So remember, we did a little bit of quick discussion about this in class, that all the points in this area of the graph have a positive x value and a positive y value. So we call this quadrant 1, and we're going to remember that all these values have a positive x and a positive y. And from there we label the other quadrants in a counterclockwise fashion. So we go from quadrant 1 to quadrant 2, 3, and 4. So this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Okay, I don't care if you label them with Roman numerals, but that's the way I learned to name them. And it keeps us sometimes from getting confused with our other number values. Alright, so let's remember then, quadrant 2, all the points in this area have a negative x value and a positive y value. So negative first and then positive. All the points in this area of the plane, in this quadrant, have a negative x value and a negative y value. So both values are negative. And then in quadrant 4, all the points in this area have a positive x value and a negative y value. Positive followed by negative. Okay? Alright, now let's go back and name the quadrant for each point listed. 3, negative 1, we don't have to find it exactly. We know which quadrant is all we're interested in here. The quadrant for positive then negative. So what's our quadrant for positive, negative? That's quadrant 4, isn't it? 3, negative 1 is in quadrant 4. What about negative 3, 1? Negative followed by positive is quadrant 2. Negative 3, 1, quadrant 2. What about negative 3, negative 1? That's both negative values. That's our quadrant 3. Negative, negative, quadrant 3. And then the point 3, 1, both positive values, we know that's quadrant 1. Positive, positive, quadrant 1. Okay, that's just a little exercise in naming the quadrants and then naming which quadrant certain points are found.